Okay. Hello here, it's Lisa Stade here of the YouTube channel of Lisa Stade, and I forgot to mention the other ones of Hitler Obsessed in the last video. Now I'm here to continue on with the lecture series that is the never-ending series that is seeming to be a pain in the backside because it never ends, of the life and death of Adolf Hitler. Literally, this thing is running in friggin' seasons. But back to what I was saying about, the Western Conference and the Nazis and their plans of the Holocaust that they were actually already doing before January 30th, 1933. Not as a fully blown organized group of concentration camps and death camps before that, but your usual typical hate crimes. And also attacking even the communists there in Germany, the socialists or the social democrats and the political enemies, as well as the Jewish people. And Germany at the time was still pretty anti-Semitic, so they would shrug it off. As long as Hitler wasn't starting a beer hall putsch again, or trying to start, a coup d'etat, they were let him be. They really should have just said no. Get lost, and we're gonna sack you. But yet again, in the beginning of Hitler's existence of his career as a chancellor, and this would definitely start happening during the Enabling Act that would be passed, was the creation of the Dachau and a lot of the other concentration camps would turn up in Germany at the time, and the death camps. And then you had what was also the predecessor later on that would happen of the Holocaust, that was the euthanasia program, Achtung T4, or T4 for short, which was the killing of disabled people. Now, there's an interesting backstory to my diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome and connection to this. I would love to do a bit of a video series on that too. But a lot of people now seem to find Asperger's syndrome offensive, or to use the word Aspie. I say to them, to heck with it. I'll still call myself an Aspie and say Asperger's syndrome. Just because what the intentions of that research by Hans Asperger's was for was now up in the air. It's not seen as he was against the Nazis. A lot of people now are saying Hans Asperger's probably supported Hitler. I might say is during Hitler's dictatorship, everything had to be toed by the party lines. It had to conform to the party lines. That is how a dictatorship works. Now, when Hitler wants something like, medical research on a condition like autism or Asperger's syndrome, about 5 to 6 other versions of the spectrum of autism, including the thing that I have, that even Adolf Hitler is now suggested, and actually there's a growing community within the history community believing and probably being more supportive of Hitler probably being on the autism spectrum with Asperger's syndrome. I know Hans Asperger's, the guy who actually is the guy that the syndrome is named after, is also considered to be on the autism spectrum. Interesting story of workplace and boss and employee and person hired and job. It sounds like something went awry and somebody said something, but that's good. The ultimate FU to your boss, I guess. But back to what I was saying about, the euthanasia program. Hitler would have that, and now the original story, the backstory to that, was there was a letter that came to Hitler. And most of these letters that Hitler would, I I'm guessing, received, he would just skim over and sign. Now this one I'm guessing he read. I don't know if he read all of it, but no, I guess this is the one he read. This is the one that would kickstart the euthanasia program. It was by a guy who had a physically disabled son, who was describing his son, who had the physical deformities, as pretty much not giving a darn about his existence or his well-being and health or anyone else. So describing the kid as a complete total I hate to use the word narcissist where it doesn't belong, but I have a good feeling that because of a lot of the eugenic stuff back then about disabled people, and yes, we still do have a lot of eugenic stuff even to this day and in this country. Thank God not like the Third Reich. But Canada is doing some weird laws with the euthanasia program that is very reminiscent to the Third Reich. And I think it's very terrible that we're doing that. But Hitler would receive this letter, and it would actually kickstart the euthanasia program. And the whole idea was that the euthanasia program was all these disabled people weren't contributing anything and taking all the money. Very common theme with a lot of current things with taxes and stuff, as a person who's actually paid into the system. Yes, surprise for that one. I do find that probably offensive that idea like that does turn up. That is actually also was used to start the euthanasia program. But a lot of what's it called But the whole idea was all these people with these disabilities, either mental or physical, neurological, developmental, were sucking all of the money, and it was draining all the poor, innocent German Aryan family there from all their food and support and everything else they need. So what did the Nazis do? No one liked them. No. What's the whole idea of them? They would euthanize them. They'd first try sterilizing them so that they can't make more of them and reproduce. If you don't know what fit neutering in Spain is, congratulations. Your cats and dogs have kittens and puppies. That is what sterilizing is. I hate to be making a comment about please sterilize your pets. Kitten season is coming up on this video. But that is what sterilizing was. That's the first thing the Nazis would do in their crimes against humanity to the disabled. And they also did that with Jewish people and the Roma, because they believed the Roma, the gypsies, were also thieves, bagels, vagrants, no swindlers. They were not good people at all. So, and another group was also homosexuals. Now, the Nazis would definitely kill you if you were gay. Transgender also, but if you're a woman and you were Aryan, they could use you. And I'm not going to go into detail how, because YouTube's policies would actually make sure my channel is dead in no time. But you can go research it. Because I'm not putting my channel on the line for that. No way. It does get graphic on that one. But the T4 program would then start off with also, and that was actually a good book I've read at the college here, about the the pre-genocidal acts that led up to the Holocaust. Was the euthanasia program, which they would first try starting with gassing the disabled with carbon monoxide in enclosed trucks there that they would leave and have the fumes pumped in. And then they would try also doing the gas chambers that would be also leading up to the gas chambers of like Auschwitz at the crematoriums there. But I think they'd first try doing the carbon monoxide in the gas chambers before going on to, I guess, Cyclone B, or they just went straight to the Cyclone B when they were doing that stage. Now, a couple of the Nazis would suggest, even during the euthanasia programs there, trying to do firing squads, mass graves, which would also be a thing in the Holocaust at the time. And a lot of the Nazis would consider that was too taxing to the soldiers, and this would lead up to some of the camps and the gas chambers to make it more, I guess, better for the soldiers to mass murder, because the Nazis had a weird mindset, horrible people with a very twisted mindset. Always having to keep watch on the time here on this. But then they would also try blowing them up, having a group of them in the forest and trying to throw a couple of hand grenades or stick grenades and sending them to pieces. This was some of the suggestions that the Nazis would do, that yes, these things would actually be done in the Operation Barbarossa to the Eastern Europeans. Like I've said, you can see some of these videos from the Soviet Union that were very good, like Come and See is a very good one. I definitely have to make a review on that one. They would also definitely, but in the other later stages of some of the euthanasia, they would chemically inject or overdose the mentally ill and disabled with painkillers or poison or whatever to kill them, which is today the current practice, I guess, or deprive them of food and water so that they die of starvation. This is also considered a current practice in euthanasia. And yes, society does have people that are pro-euthanasia. I have arguments on YouTube with people like this. They're nuts. I'm gonna leave off here on this video, continue on to the next video. And this is Lisa Stade of the YouTube channels of Lisa Stade and Hitler Obsessed, telling you to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all so you can see all the notifications of future videos, upcoming videos that are premiering. You can go to my BitChute channel at bitchute.com, that is one word, Lisa Marie Stade. You can donate to my Patreon, you can donate to my subscribe song. You can even see my TikTok. When I get to that part on the video, I somehow wonder, it's like Tinder to me. You can definitely go to my Facebook account at Lisa Stade on my Facebook Messenger account, send me a friend request, or send me a message, or do both. That is fine. And now on to the next video, and bye now.